At the time of this writing, it's extremely uncertain whether or not Musk will actually close the deal to purchase Twitter if you simply consider his track record with these types of projects. And honestly, I think both parties know this. For example, there's a $1 billion fee written into the deal that either party would be responsible for paying if they walk away from the deal. That's a massive amount of money to you and me, worthless normies whose only value is the dust to which our bodies will eventually succumb, which can be harvested and used as biofuel to power the air conditioning in Jeff Bezos' super yacht. But that's an extremely low number for a deal this size, especially for someone like Musk, who can lose $1 billion if he opens his wallet too fast. That amount of money is nothing to him. Hell, the $40 billion he's about to spend on Twitter is also nothing to him. That's walking around money. Those are around bucks. Bucks. The point is, the mere fact that the bailout fee is that low suggests that neither Musk or Twitter are that optimistic about the deal actually going through. Except, here's where it gets kind of definitely hilarious. Because due to the nature of the deal Musk made, he's actually in a situation where he might not be able to back out of this deal at all. You see, despite what he's saying about bots and holding off the sale and all that, Musk actually already signed a deal, this deal right here, that locks Musk into buying Twitter for $54.20 a share, even though that's way higher than what it's worth. And when making that deal, not only did Elon waive due diligence, like buying a house and signing a paper that says, lol, I'm sure it's probably fine, but also Twitter's made it extremely clear that the number of bots could be higher than their estimate. So legally speaking, Elon knew exactly what he was getting into with the bot situation. It's moot to the deal. He's saying it to save face with his weirdo fans. And in fact, Twitter has way more control in this situation than he does. It's right there in section 9.9, page 70. So close to the funny number, Elon, of the deal under specific performance, which is basically a legal agreement that requires Elon to complete the deal if Twitter wants him to, which they very much do. So the business genius has locked himself into a shitty deal because he didn't read the contract, it seems. And now he might be forced to buy Twitter. No matter how many times he pretends he can pull out because of bots, he really has no way to squirm out of this. In fact, ooh, hey, it's our famous news slug with some breaking slug news. You love news, slug. This just in. While we were filming this, Twitter has actually given Elon Musk access to their spam data, a thing I'm pretty sure he didn't actually want and was hoping to use as an excuse to leave the deal. Thanks, News Slug! The walls just keep closing in for him. Not News Slug, but for Elon. And it's something I think we can all agree would be the most hilarious outcome. It would become an instant national holiday where we all dress up as the chef's kiss emoji, which we wouldn't be able to tweet about because jokes about Elon will be banned. Since announcing the deal, Tesla's stock has plunged as low as 36%. Twitter's stock is also down, one casualty of a market-wide collapse in tech stock. That's a problem because Musk owns stock in both companies, which accounts for a substantial amount of his personal wealth. It's also likely why he dropped using Tesla stock as collateral and is now digging up various other investors to cover the gap, risking an unbelievable amount of personal debt, and is now desperately trying to escape Twitter's grasp, all because he can't keep his mouth shut and impulsively locked himself into a very bad deal. It really is a very bad deal for everyone. Besides his own personal debt, the amount of debt he will be foisting onto Twitter should be criminal. According to some estimates, if the deal goes through, Twitter's annual debt interest payments will jump from $51 million to $900 million. And Twitter is a company that does not make much money. Not exactly raking in ad dollars or super follower subscriptions. It generated about $5 billion in revenue last year, which is 1/9 of the price Musk is trying to pay for it. Couple that with estimated annual debts of nearly $1 billion, and it really doesn't make 1 ounce of sense or sensibility to buy the fucking thing. Seems like it's all based on pride and the other thing. But hey now, maybe he's got some really great ideas on how to make back that money. Surely that's the case. Well, Musk unveiled his business plan for Twitter, which includes goals that could gently be called aggressive and more accurately called reckless genie wishes. For one, he claims he will quintuple Twitter's annual revenue to $26 billion in 6 years. How does he plan to do this? By cutting advertising. Currently, ads generate 90% of Twitter's yearly income. But Musk says he will slash that down to 45% and fill in the remaining 55% with subscriptions and data licensing. Basically, selling their delicious user data, which is an area that generated about $571 million for Twitter last year. I'm not seeing $25 billion here, but I'm not the richest person in the world whose vast expertise includes inheriting an emerald mine and buying his way onto the board of an exciting electric car company, or agreeing with Ian Miles Chong of all people that if Twitter bots are 25% instead of 5%, then Elon should pay 25% less than he originally said, because that's how math works. He also plans to triple Twitter's user base to nearly 1 billion in 6 years and generate a little over $1 billion of revenue with a payments business by 2028. Sort of like the current in-app shopping and tipping system, except he expects people to actually use it. He's also said he intends to cut the salaries of every member of Twitter's board to $0 and claims he will find revolutionary new ways to monetize tweets, such as charging other websites a fee to embed them in their weekly roundup of dank memes and reactions to the latest Marvel trailer. Now, to be fair, this could be a good thing. I would love to get money for my tweets making fun of you, Elon. But also, do you think websites will pay for this instead of just writing the tweet up as a quote with a source link or, screenshotting it? How is he going to bring in over 600 million new users? By transforming Twitter into the no-holds-barred battlefield of free speech warriors it was always meant to be. Judging by his plans for Twitter's growth, he expects to earn $25 billion on 500 million Nazis tipping each other. Musk has emerged as the latest champion of free speech, despite a long career of not giving a shit about it whatsoever until he started chasing social media clout in his 40s like the most divorced man at the Warped Tour. And he believes Twitter is being wielded by the woke liberal mob to stifle free speech. He claims to be a free speech absolutist. When he's not firing or punishing people for saying mean things about him specifically, or hiring firms to spy on his employees, and says he plans to remove any restrictions on content and conduct that aren't required by law. He seems to be convinced that Twitter is overwhelmingly populated by bots who manipulate engagement to favor the left. That's been a totally real and not at all fake sticking point for him in the 11th hour of the Twitter deal. The company claims that around 5% of its user base are bots at any given time. Meanwhile, Musk has stated he feels it could be as high as 80% based on absolutely no data or research. But again, even if that's true, for users who aren't him, he still has to buy Twitter. Another thing he feels is true is that Twitter is shadow banning vast swaths of users, mysterious algorithms and bots working behind the scenes to hide and suppress tweets featuring speech too real and raw and in your face for the woke brain agenda. And of course, he has stated that banning Donald Trump for, inciting violence and spreading misinformation for years was a morally bad decision.
It was not correct to ban Donald Trump. I think that was a mistake. I think it was a morally bad decision, to be clear, and foolish in the extreme.
So yeah, it's pretty clear the type of people he's hoping to court with all of this. In order to squash these shadow banning robots, Musk has promised to open Twitter's source code, which would theoretically allow anyone to see exactly how these algorithms work. And he stumbled upon something that is actually worthwhile here. Algorithmic transparency is something that many governments around the world are currently pushing for, including the United States, where Democrats proposed the Algorithmic Accountability Act back in February. Democrats, who he hates, by the way. Social media companies like Twitter and Facebook have come under fire for how their algorithms favor disinformation and hate speech because of their lucrative engagement numbers. And disinformation and hate speech on social media have been linked to everything from mass shootings to COVID-related deaths to eating disorders to a literal insurrection. It's undeniably important to know exactly how these algorithms are dictating what people are exposed to and ensuring that they're doing so responsibly. But Musk's solution isn't that helpful or nuanced. Critics have pointed out that opening up Twitter's code won't do much to explain how their algorithms actually work, and will instead do much more to expand Twitter's vulnerability to hacks and bad actors searching for exploits to game the system. by doing things like using the code to make more effective bots. Curse the fickle talons of irony! By trying to destroy the bots, Elon, you've given the bots their greatest weapon yet. But of course, Elon doesn't actually care about free speech or bots so much as trying to appeal to the political party most likely to help him defeat unions and run his business like a monster. Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Here's the evergreen end plate to ask you to like and subscribe. It's any day of the year where you are.